guys. Welcome everybody to Texas REIAs. I'm Shenoah Grove. I am the founder and president of Texas REIAs. Excited to be with all of you guys here tonight. Welcome for those of you guys who are watching online, and a big hello to all of you guys who are here in person. Excited to be talking to you about what's happening in the real estate market right now, how you can invest based on where we are in the market. This is a very interesting time for us. I feel like I've been using that phrase for about the last 2.5 years, but it's actually a very exciting time as well to be a real estate investor, especially here in Texas. We've seen an incredible amount of growth, and we've seen an incredible amount of opportunity, and I expect that to continue as we continue to finish out the rest of 2022 and beyond. So I got a lot of both challenges, we've got a lot of uncertainty that's hitting us right now, but uncertainty, challenge, crisis, right? When met with some preparation, you're going to do just fine. So we'll walk through where we are in the market as we do at every single meeting, and just share with you what we've learned over the last almost 2 decades of investing in real estate here in Texas. So Texas REIAs is your source for knowledge, deals, funding, advice, partnering, coaching, getting that help that you need. I know I'll just ask the question, how many of you guys are in university right now? University right now? How many of you guys are at YouTube University right now? There we go. Okay, there you are. Welcome to a live version of that. So we also have a YouTube channel. I know we've got some folks that are watching there as well. One of the things we do to mix it up is every single time that we have a meeting, and we meet every Tuesday, Thursday in the different markets. Every time we have a meeting, we give some tip of tribal knowledge so that you know how to be successful based on what's happening in the market right now, and also based on the changes that we're forecasting to happen in the market to come. What's different about our YouTube channel is for us at Texas REIAs, the word Texas is the descriptor, right? So it's all things Texas. This is how to win in Texas. This is how to invest in Texas. The thing that makes me nervous for you guys who are on YouTube University is that you're learning from people all over the country, which might sound good, right? And these people might be amazingly entertaining, but if they're not investing in Texas, then you might be getting advice from someone who's having you do something that might be illegal. So let's try not to do that. If there's a YouTube channel that you want to watch, it would be Texas REIAs if you're planning to invest in Texas. So that's all we do, and that's all we've done for almost 2 decades. So we are some of the leading experts on how to make it work right here in this market, and even through this economy. So a lot of people are worried about where we are in the economy right now. And for us, we see it as opportunity. So when we first got started, it was right after the .com boom and bust. So we got started probably at a terrible time to start investing in real estate. And we invested through the high times of the credit boom, but we also invested through the credit bust, AKA the Great Recession. So we can make it through the Great Recession. We can make it through a pandemic. We can make it through anything that comes post-pandemic. We got it. So we'll teach you guys what we learned through all the different market cycles. We've invested through multiple different presidents, multiple different legislatures, tax changes, law and rule changes. So we'll make sure you guys have the best of what we've learned, both again what's working right now and what's going to be working for us in the future. And for those of you guys who are new to investing, so again, welcome. I want to make sure you have some of the basics down, so it's really important that we get the basics down as we're getting started. Again, I know some of you guys who are at YouTube University are probably getting your contracts off of the internet from some unknown and unverified source. I will tell you guys, the Texas contract is free. You guys, any one of you guys can use it. It is a beautifully written contract, accounts for all the things that can go right as well as all the things that can go wrong. In fact, it has a specific page in that contract. It's an 11-page contract. I want to say it's page 7 or page 7 or page 8. It has all of the OSHIT clauses in them. You know what those are? Those are the things that when something goes terribly wrong, This is where we go to figure it out when the seller doesn't show up to closing, when you don't want to show up to the closing, when a hurricane hits, when a tornado hits, when an ice storm hits, right? So those are all of the things that can go wrong, and all the things that you need to know as a real estate investor, and all the things you need to protect you. So as tempting as it may be, hi Ingrid, as tempting as it may be to use a form, a file that you find off of the internet that it says you can use this in any state, guys, please don't use that. The TREC contract is available for you. It is free. Now, it is 11 pages long. Don't let that intimidate you. The last 2 pages really are for the broker realtor section. So if you're buying without a broker or realtor, you don't need to fill that out. On page 10, page 11 is just for the title company to fill that out for you. So it's the receipt of the option money, receipt of the earnest money, and receipt of the contract. So really only 9 pages, but there are probably about 85 to 90 different blanks on that contract. Don't let that intimidate you either. So for those of you guys who are my age, you remember Mad Libs. So Mad Libs, when we were playing Mad Libs as kids, right, we'd have to fill in the blanks, but all the blanks had a context clue, like insert noun here, or verb here, or date here. So they give you some context clues, Mad Lib style, on the TREC contract. So don't let the length of it intimidate you. I want you to approach it as this is going to be something that's going to serve me. It is tested and proven and updated regularly to make sure it accounts for all the case law that is happening and changing here in Texas. So the TREC contract, you guys can find it, just Google TREC, T-R-E-C, TREC, T-R-E-C, and you can grab it. So there's a whole contracts and forms section. There's about 40 different contracts and forms out there. So if you are investing in single family or duplex or threeplex or fourplex, you'll use the contract called 1-2-4 family contract. Okay, 1-2-4 family contract. That's the best one to use. Of course, they do have another one for land contract, like farm and ranch, unimproved property. They have a separate condo contract. They have a new construction contract as well. So there's a lot of great stuff out there for you guys to use. And again, to make sure that you protect yourself. So you'll hear me talk a lot about that idea of protecting yourself. So it just comes from experiencing 20 years of both watching people do it right and watching people not do it right, and also learning myself. So want to make sure that you guys are considerate of that and just protect yourselves right from the get-go. It's very easy to make money as a real estate investor. It's also very easy to lose money and make a lot of mistakes as a real estate investor. So I want to make sure you guys all start off really right and really well. And some of the basic ways that we protect ourselves is using some of those forms that are on the TREC website. Now, the one thing the TREC website is missing, and I'm curious how many of you guys are interested in commercial real estate investing, whether that's multifamily, apartment complexes, right, strip centers, RV parks, storage facilities, etc. Okay, great. So the one thing it does not have on the TREC website are those commercial contracts. So you have to, but don't worry, you have to just befriend a realtor or a broker, and that realtor or broker will have the forms for the Texas Association of Realtors, so the TAR forms. And the TAR forms you'll find will have the commercial contracts in there. Again, those are designed to protect you. Those are designed to address the things that we see here in Texas. So please use those forms. And yeah, so one of the slides that we've got up right now, for those of you guys who are on our podcast, you'll have to jump on our YouTube to see this, or just come to one of our live events. You can meet us at one of our live events by going to Texas REIAs, REIAS.com/live. And this is a spoiler alert. How would you guys who are here in person like a copy of this, like a 3-foot by 2-foot copy of this? You don't even know what it is, and you're like, yes, I'll take it. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So this is, it's funny. Someone asked us one time, how long does this take you to create? And Phil, my husband, who is left brain analytical, he was a double major, computer science and electrical engineering. He created this, and what this is, and I'll roll it back to that. What that is it's a list of basically all of the different things that we learned about real estate since we started investing almost 2 decades ago. And it breaks down our real estate investing business into 6 different categories. So it talks about all of the different strategies that we use as a real estate investor. So for us, we want to make money every time the phone rings, no matter where the economy is, no matter where the housing cycle is. So these are some of the different strategies in the upper left-hand corner that we use to be able to survive and thrive no matter what the market throws at us. Right below that, all of the marketing strategies that we have put in place over the years. And this the strategy list is growing and growing all the time. Right below that, the sales and negotiation, what we call the exactly what to say for the real estate investor, because we know some of you guys have been stuck in cubes like we were before we moved out of corporate America and into full-time real estate. It also addresses the financing of your deals, so how to make sure you get every deal funded as long as it is a true deal, right? So there's sometimes suspects versus prospects. If you route out the fact that it's just a suspect and not a deal, then obviously it's going to have a little trouble getting funded, although we do have some ways to be able to make money off of those leads as well. The analysis and due diligence. So again, you guys probably came here to find out how to make money as a real estate investor. That is my job. I can take that very seriously, but what I take even more seriously is let's protect the principal investment. Let's make sure we don't make any mistakes. And that is all in your analysis and due diligence. Warren Buffett says the number one rule of investing is don't lose money. Number two rule, see rule number one, don't lose money, right? How do we make sure we do that? We do our analysis and due diligence. And then the last portion of this blueprint, which we've got some with us here tonight, the last portion of this blueprint is actually the largest portion of this blueprint. In the upper right-hand corner, this is the operations side of your business. So this is when your business goes to, you're out there, you're swinging a hammer, and gosh, I mean, hold on, let's see, I'm just going to do a quick check. I'm going to tell you guys to turn off your cell phones, but I'm going to pull up my cell phone and look. Hey, 102 degrees. Everybody grab your hammer, let's go to work, right? How long that going to last when you're in a house that has no air conditioning because you can't get that turned on yet because the city's not cooperating with you, right? So the operations portion of this, again, when you go from swinging your own hammer to hiring other people to swing hammers for you, this is really growing and scaling your business. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys are here and interested in real estate because you are bored with your desk job, you hate your cubicle, you want to get out, you want to build something, you want to see what you've built, and you want to feel some pride in that. Yes? 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 Okay. So let me give you a tip. Instead of doing it on your house, just go to IKEA. Okay, you can build any of their stuff anytime and get that same feeling. Get it from the IKEA in the box thing, right? Don't do it from the house. So I'll tell you this, when this is real estate confessions of a 20-year veteran. When I first started investing in real estate, one of the initial capital expenditures that my husband and I did together, and I don't want any of you guys to get jealous, okay? So just kind of hold, you know, just like, you know, don't be a hater here, okay? But we already had a truck, but what we realized is the truck wasn't big enough to haul off everything that was left behind when a seller moved out of property, and we bought it. So we bought our own haul-off trailer so that after we filled up a trailer full of stuff, we could personally take it to the dump. Don't get jealous. I know you guys, some of you guys look like a bunch of haters out there. I know you guys are getting jealous right now. We would literally, like, we kind of joke, we'd have dates at the dump. And we had a special broom that we kept in the back of the truck so we could sweep out the trailer after that. Who's ready for that? Who's like, yes, I want to, yeah, that's what your life's going to look like. That's what Friday night date night is going to look like. And if my husband was here, he has this funny little thing that he says every time I mention this. He's like, look, and she's still marrying me anyway, and we're still married after all of this. So guys, I know it can feel very satisfying to remodel and build these houses. But the issue is, and what we very quickly realized, was that it's impossible to scale your business and grow your business beyond 1, 2, or 3 deals a year if you're doing everything yourselves, okay? And everyone kind of hits that realization at a different point. So it took us a long time to hit it. I'll be honest with you, we still have that trailer today. It does not live at our house, and it has not lived at our house for about the last dozen years. We hire someone, we send that person over to go and pick up the trailer and go and drop it off at a property, and we hire someone else to go and clean out that property. That's how you can grow and scale your business. If your business is not focused on marketing, if your business is focused on going to the dump, I know that feels good when you first get started, especially like when you break free of the cubicle, it feels amazing, right? But at some point, if you want to feel more amazing, maybe in the pocketbook side of your, whatever you're wearing, letting that go will be huge. So those have become what we call in our house MWAs. Do you know what that stands for? Minimum wage activities. Minimum wage activities. So in our house, literally, even our 13-year-old son, if he sees me doing something that he knows is a MWA, because it's a saying in our house, and he has literally said to me, I'll never forget, when he was probably about 9 or 10, I was getting the house ready for something. So I was organizing, moving all this stuff around, and I asked him to help me. And at 10 years old, this child says, Mom, it looks like you forgot to hire someone to do this activity for you, and it feels like you're doing a minimum wage activity, Mom. Shouldn't you have thought this out and planned this out a little bit better ahead of time? What am I thinking? What are you thinking right now about this 10-year-old little boy?
I'd be proud.
Koala says, I'd be proud. Quayla, I'm sorry, Quayla. How else are you guys feeling? You little SHIT, but you are right. You are right, you little SHIT. So I'm biting my tongue, but I am, I'm agreeing with him. I'm saying, yes, Mommy forgot to hire someone, so now Mommy's hiring you. But he reminds me of that quite frequently, which sometimes do we need people to remind us to stay on track. And we hate it when it's the people that are our children who are spouting back to us the things that we learned. But it is so true. So guys, I want you to do more than one deal a year. I want you to do more than 2 deals a year. The way that you do that is you let go of that satisfaction that you get out of remodeling your own property. You let go of that satisfaction you get out of knocking down a wall, that satisfaction you get of power washing, something else, we had 3 garages full of equipment. Power washing gosh, I'm trying to think how many linear feet it was, but it felt like a quarter mile of wood fencing and then going back and staining it. Those things, some of those things that I initially did when I started my business were things that held me back in my growth. And I don't want any of those things to hold you guys back. I want you to focus on the things that matter. I don't want you to have this mindset of just focusing on the things that will allow me to save money. I want you guys to focus on the things that will allow you to make money, right? So if I was power washing a fence all day long, how likely am I able to stop what I'm doing, put down the power washer, grab my phone when another seller is calling me? It's going to be a little hard to do, right? Because you're in the middle of something and you're wet and you're gross and you're at the dump, right? And you're just not in that same mindset. And then you miss that call, and then that opportunity that could have made you $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 goes away to someone who's not doing MWAs. Yes, yes? Okay. And there's something inside of us. I mean, it's inside me too. Like this kind of Puritan work ethic, right? Like it's inside all of us. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift. But, think about all the people who are really making a lot of money in the world. Are they doing everything themselves? And the answer is no, they're hiring other people to do it for them. So that's how I want you guys to think. That those are some of the secrets of being successful for the long term, and really having a life of joy, a life of abundance, and something that you can bring other people along for the ride for. So how many of you guys have people in your family that you would like to help as a result of what you do as a real estate investor? Okay, yeah. So I think I probably employ about 6 different family members in my business. And that feels really good to be able to do that. And it feels really good to be able to create an economy that includes the people that I love, right? Think about that, right? And some of us have, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles that are maybe unemployed or underemployed that could really use your services. And for some of those, if you're going to be giving them money anyway, you guys know which ones I'm talking about? Yes, yes? Why not have them do a little work for you, including your children, right? So it's a great opportunity. In fact, my son should be here tonight, but he is having the best summer of his life. He's 13 and he is on a dirt bike at my mom's ranch. And he's like glued to that seat. So he's having the time of his life. I'm letting him enjoy it. So. But sometimes when you see us at the meetings, you'll see kind of the family affair that we are. So my husband and I invest together. How many of you guys are going to be investing with a spouse or partner? Okay, you brought your spouse or partner. You're still considering whether or not you're with him. Is that what's going on over there? You kind of gave him some doubting looks, okay? Who else is investing with a spouse or partner? Okay, and you guys brought yours. Did you bring yours? Okay, fantastic. Where's your significant other?
Oh, I didn't bring her with me.
You didn't bring her with you? So basically you're going to go home and explain to her everything that you're going to learn tonight. Yeah. You're going to get about 5 minutes in, then you're going to just like sputter out. And she's going to say, wow, sounds like a really great meeting that you went to. Can't wait for you to find that house. So, so guys, I will say, if you are planning to invest with your spouse or partner, bring them to these meetings. Have them listen. Have them learn with you. It breaks my heart when I see a spouse that says, my spouse is going to watch from the sideline. And then you get home, I'm just going to play out, your life in the next 3 months, okay? I'm just going to look into my crystal ball because I've seen this happen about 50,000 times, okay? So basically what it looks like is learn a lot at this meeting, went out, took action, right? Talked to a seller, put a property under contract. Went home to my spouse, and I said, honey, guess what? We're doing this. We're real estate investors. I got a house under contract today. I got it for only $350,000. Winning! And it only needs $80,000 in repairs. And we're going to sell it for over $600,000, and we're going to make a lot of money. What is your spouse going to say? So the way you guys said it. In fact, will both of you just walk over? Because I just want you, I've got this microphone right there. You stand up. You did it so well. Yes. Stand up, because the way you said it, the way you can even look at him so he can practice experiencing it. Yeah. So what did you say? I'm sorry.
Where are you getting the $85,000?
And then someone else said, where are you getting that 60,000+ in repairs? Yeah. Where's that coming from? Can't wait to hear the rest of that, right? Yeah, that's gonna go over not very well. Not very well. I've seen your future. So the best way to be able to take care of that is to bring your spouse, Meryl and Gerald. Did you guys make that up tonight, or is that a real thing? Twins. Okay, twins. We're not spouses. Would you like to be? Siblings. Okay, then never mind. We are not going to film a Game of Thrones series here tonight. Okay. But what is your name, sir, in the back?
Oh, Clint Brown.
Clint Brown. Let me just make your life easier. The next meeting that we have, bring your spouse, okay? Please, because I don't want your deal to flutter off and become someone else's deal. That's really important. So, I want to make sure you guys are successful as possible. And I'm super curious, is anyone in here currently working on a deal? Anybody in here currently working on a deal? Oh, yeah, you two. Fantastic. You're so close to that microphone. It'd be super awesome if you just walked over to it. It'll probably be one of the worst experiences of your life, but you'll probably benefit incredibly from it. So tell me about the deal you're working on right now. First, your name. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
round of
thanks.
applause.
My name is Joshua. I'm here with my wife Denise. Actually, it should be the other way around. Should be Denise, and yeah.
The
anyway.
mic is big enough for two. I'm just
I'm
saying.
the guest. I'm not just the guest. We're in partnership together. I mean, we're
Yes, okay, here we
trying
go.
out something new
Here
here.
we
Yeah,
go.
I was gonna say
Okay.
you should join me at the mic.
So yeah,
Yes.
tell me what you're working
You'll
on.
know more info about the
Yeah.
deal because stuff's been happening today while I've been at my cubicle.
Yep, yeah.
So
It's a single home. It's our first time, so
Okay,
we're like
yeah.
learning. We
Yeah.
actually have a long-term rental right now that was our home, and we moved to another.
Smart. Okay, good.
But it's in San Antonio,
Okay,
and we got it under contract for $70K.
okay. Don't you love those San Antonio prices?
I know.
So awesome. It's like Austin, just add another zero, and then
Yep.
I'll take, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and repair costs.
Tell me how you found it.
Actually, MLS.
MLS.
Yeah.
Yes, we, to be honest, we're a little intimidated with the wholesale and all of that, and we just started, so we're like, but we found it in the MLS. But
Okay.
where there's a will, there's a way.
Okay. Well, I
And-
think houses in San Antonio
Yeah.
last month sold at about 101% of list price. In Austin, about 103% of list price. So tell me how you did not pay full retail, and tell me what your exit strategy is. If your exit strategy is to buy and hold as another rental, probably
That-
okay. If
We're
the
still actually kind of deciding, which is kind of interesting. Originally we wanted to flip, fix and flip, and then kind of build more cash. But yeah, we're still. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so purchase is 70. What are
Yep,
repairs?
The repairs are 70.
Okay.
And then the
ARV?
ARV is
Well,
at least, it's around 185 plus.
Okay, so 185 times 70% minus 70,000 in repairs. So you've got it within about $10,000 of what I would like you to have it at. The
Like
issue
good
is
or bad?
you're overpaying by $10,000.
Oh,
Okay. So typically we use the formula, and I'll pop it up on the screen here in just 2 seconds. Typically we use the formula for a buy, fix, and flip, especially in that price range of 70% of ARV minus repairs. 70% of ARV minus repairs. So, and I'll pop this up on the screen here, and let me hit play. So when you use that formula, 70% of ARV minus repairs, typically you're making somewhere between 10 to 15% of the ARV. 10% if you are bringing on a hard money lender to help fund that project. 15% if you are bringing your own personal funds for the purchase and for the renovation. So what that means is on a $200,000 house, you typically make somewhere between $20,000 and $30,000, which is pretty close to what you're looking at on your 180, right? So, but the problem is that last bullet point. For every dollar that you overpay, and right now I've just kind of did a quick calculation, you're overpaying by $10,500. That is a dollar for dollar off of your profit, right, out of your pocket. So if your 10% profit is $18,000, you're overpaying by $10,000, then you're looking at making $8,000. So if you're holding it for 6 months, you're basically figuring out what it's like to work minimum wage at Walmart. So the cubicle might still feel more comfortable there. And then so this slide, and I know it's a lot to go through, but it goes through all of your closing costs on the buy, all of your holding costs all the way through while you're renovating it. Obviously your renovation, your closing costs when you go to resell it. So when you're selling in San Antonio at $180,000, who do you think your buyer is? It's going to be a VA or an FHA buyer.
Right.
And a VA and or FHA buyer are going to ask you for what? Closing cost, up to 3% of the purchase price. Okay, so that slide right there has all that figured in there for you, okay? They're also going to be a little harder to qualify. Typically, am I in a non-judgment zone here with everybody? Can I say, you're not going to cancel me tonight? You're thinking about it still. Okay, can you step outside while I say something to the rest of them? Okay, I better watch myself. So typically buyers, FHA and VA buyers, I would say probably 70% of them don't have the best credit score in the world. and probably 70% or more don't even have any down payment or much down payment to speak of. So that means that appraisal's got to be like really spot on, right? So do want to make sure you guys are aware of that and considering that when you're looking at this, because again, that just kind of starts to pull down your profits. So, and then there's this kind of feeling, it's like, especially when you get started, where you have this moment and you're saying to yourself, it's okay, it's my first deal. I just want to get in there. I just want to prove that I can get it done. I just want that, and the word that most people use is experience. What do we know about experience? It's the toughest teacher out there, because experience gives you the test first and the lesson after, okay? That can be very painful. And I know it'll feel good, but I think you've got more in you than just $10,000 after 6 or more months of a project, right? So, and then the way that I figure the amount of time it takes to renovate is you take that $70,000 budget and you divide it by 5,000. So what's that, 35? Yes, 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 yeah? So 35 weeks of renovation. It's gonna be a long hold time. And then you're going from Austin to San Antonio, so you're traveling down there to manage that project?
We'll manage from a distance. We have a partnership with a general contractor,
and you've worked with this general contractor in the past?
No, but it's a credible source for us because it's a family connection.
Okay.
And he works in high end. Actually, works more in high end.
So this is going to be kind of a step down for him.
Yes,
definitely.
Yeah.
It's
Okay. Make sure. I mean, I think he'll understand that, but sometimes investors get in trouble when they over renovate a property. So it's like, right. I want to make sure every property has my favorite colors, granite and stainless steel, right? But when you're selling a $180,000 house in San Antonio,
right.
does it need to have my favorite colors? And the answer is no. So is it going to feel? Your contractor is going to like kind of twitch. It's just like no. We're just going to glue the laminate back on the countertop, and he's going to be like, what is this thing that you talk about, this glue? Like, they're not even going to know. So just be careful.
I could build you
and
a
then
custom-made one made out of rich mahogany.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure. So just make sure you guys create that very detailed scope of work. So the scope of work, every minute you spend on that scope of work will pay you back. And then just as a pro tip, for every $10,000 that you're spending on your budget, you should have at least a one-page scope of work. So if you have a $70,000 budget, you should have at least 7 pages of detail there. And I'm talking like 12-point font, typewritten. Yeah. If it is not, you're going to miss something. It's going to punch you in the face. And then when you're already, because you've overpaid, right, at 70, and I'm going to suggest you go back and renegotiate it. But if one thing goes wrong, if like, oh shoot, we thought the air conditioner was going to make it, and the air conditioner doesn't make it, and now it's like, that's a $7,000 problem. So now you've spent 6 months or longer, right? Because you've got to filter in all of the time that you're taking to renovate it. Now you're making $3,000.
Right.
And now life doesn't feel as wonderful. You learned a lot of lessons, but there's an easier way to do it. And typically I would say it is not finding deals on the MLS. So just last couple of questions. Who's funding this for you?
We have some friends that are funding part of it, and then a hard money lender.
Okay, a hard money lender. So the reason why—
we're also using part of a HELOC as well.
And part of a HELOC. So why won't the hard money lender fund the whole thing? I'll tell you.
I'll tell you, I've been on the phone all day today. They said that, well, first of all, we don't have experience.
Okay.
But he told us that
my husband's back there shaking his head.
He's like, what are you
No,
doing?
let me tell you. I'm going to tell you.
Okay, I won't tell you.
He won't fund the whole thing, because why?
He doesn't think it's a good deal.
It's not a good deal. So this is the problem, and I did a whole tribal knowledge tip of the week on this. It's called the hard money lender decoder ring, okay? Okay? And let me tell you what he's telling you when he tells you he's not going to fund it or he wants you to bring your own funds. He's telling you, you don't have a good deal. And he wants you to bring money to the closing table so that he's got a better deal, meaning a loan to value that is that of a good deal. So he wins no matter what. He wins even if you only walk away with $3,000 after 6 months of your life. That's gonna hurt me. That's gonna hurt you. I don't want to hurt any. So what did I say my job zero was? What did I say my number one job was? I can tell you guys were all listening. This is so great.
Make money.
To make sure you don't lose money. Guys, you have a termination in your contract. Don't terminate yet. Renegotiate first.
Yeah.
Okay. Will you thank them for coming up and yeah, thank you. That is the end of this segment. So thank you guys for joining us for that. I hope that helped along your journey, and know that it was coming from a place of love and experience. So thank you guys.